Hey YouTube, what's up? Mike the Manic Geek here. Now I wasn't exactly planning on making this video, but like so many unexpected occurrences in life, you deal with what's given to you. Now, some of you may or may not be aware that I did a review on the FinalMouse 2015. Had some pretty good things to say about it, had some not so good things to say about it. But what came up in chat was essentially chatter of this being basically just a rebranded mouse from another manufacturer. So what I went ahead and did was took it apart so that we could see exactly what's going on under the hood and hopefully dispel some of the lack of confidence that arises from discovering something like this. So having an automotive background like I do, I'm not really afraid to just sort of dive into something like this, take it apart haphazardly, throw everything to the side, and then figure out how to put it all back together later on. That being said, some of the things that I had to do to this mouse to get clear shots of everything did result in irreparable damage to the mouse. Not that it's not usable still. Everything still functions, but I wanted to get the clearest images possible for you guys so that you could see exactly what's going on under the hood of FinalMouse 2015. Now, this is the first in a long line of videos that I'm going to be doing that I'm entitling Dorksmithing, where I basically dive deeper into different geeky concepts that I find really interesting. Things like system building and water cooling, tearing hardware apart and seeing what's actually going on the inside, home brewing, since I do dabble in that a little bit, and then discussing some things like gaming strategy for some of the games that I play. Matter of fact, I'm working on on an Elder Scrolls Online game for you guys. But enough about that, let's get into the heart of the matter here. So, first thing I did was address the most obvious rebranding issue going on here, which is the bottom of the mouse. Took off the sticker there and revealed that this is the chassis for a MotoSpeed MN version 2 mouse. Now, I'm going to link that mouse in the video description below, but essentially it's just a $17 like Chinese knockoff product. It's nothing particularly spectacular to write home about. It has different sensor implementation. It has different left and right clicks. There are very subtle differences to the chassis, but otherwise it's essentially the same thing. Now, as far as chassis durability is concerned, having taken it all apart, it feels very sturdy, with the obvious exception being the thinnest point, which is the bottom of the mouse, but frankly, I wouldn't really worry about that since you're not really going to be slamming this down on rocks anytime soon to have to worry about that breaking. But in general, the chassis is actually very well built otherwise. You know, my opinion still stands in the original video. I want to see this glossy plastic disappear like the plague, but it's not a flimsy chassis by any stretch of the imagination. Now, addressing one of the main issues that I had with the mouse, or one of the main areas of contention that I had, is the thumb buttons. Now, in a sense, they are actually independent housings. You can see, well, maybe you can't, and maybe the camera's probably going all kinds of weird out of focus, but they are on individual housings of a sort, in that I can separate them and work them independently from one another, but they have a singular pivot point where they attach to the inside of the palm rest area here and then slot into the side of the mouse so that you can click it. Now, this implementation is fine. I'm actually kind of a fan of how they did this here. This is not weak plastic by any stretch of the imagination, and any abuse that you could probably throw at this mouse, given this switch implementation, or button implementation rather, you shouldn't experience any problems with that. So moving on, we get to the guts of the mouse itself. Now, I'm going to start with the switches. The switches for left and right click on this are in fact Omron switches. They are the D2FC-F-7N switch. Now, I could only find information on the Omron product site regarding the base D2F switch that this is based off of. I was, however, able to find a spec sheet that was given to a different company from Omron describing the particulars of this switch, and I'll try and post a link down in the video description below, as with the rest of the information here. These switches are very good. Very subtle difference between left and right clicks here. The right click is maybe slightly spongier than the left click, but it's not anything that's readily easy to perceive, especially in actually using the mouse. So again, we're dealing with acceptable range of tolerance here. There's nothing glaringly wrong so far, until we get to the thumb switches. The thumb switches are unfortunately a very tragic carryover from the base product that this mouse is based on. These are generic OTM switches, so generic in fact that I could not find a website for this particular switch other than to discover a couple of Hong Kong-based websites through which these switches are produced, or sold rather. So take that with a grain of salt. If anyone knows any more information about OTM switches, feel free to leave a comment down in the comments section below. Let me know what it is you know about them, because in the bit of research that I was able to do, I really couldn't find much of anything, which is not very encouraging. Now, also on this circuit board is a Holtec flash memory module. This is where the firmware and the I/O interface is stored for plugging in via USB. This is also where basically everything this mouse needs to function is going to be stored. I have a link in the video description describing this particular flash module. Gives all the breakdown on the specs for it. It's apparently a very commonly used part. So nothing really exciting to write home about there. Now, I noticed that there were a couple of individuals that were chatting about the optical sensor on this product. It is in fact a Picsart 3310 optical sensor. It does in fact use a custom firmware for this product. I'm going to try and show in the video here the close-up that I got for the part number on this sensor. As to the lens that it uses, whether it's a basic consumer grade lens or something higher end, at this point I really don't feel like it matters, because ultimately the sensor works. It works beautifully. I experienced no issues during testing with this product, with this sensor. I still hold that this is probably the nicest sensor I have ever used on a mouse in my life. Which brings us to conclusion time on this video. What exactly did we learn here? What did we see with this product? Ultimately, nothing that you shouldn't have expected to begin with. I liken this to what you commonly see in the world of automotive. You look at something like, for instance, a Ford, and then you look at a Lincoln. And you might notice that while outwardly the shell might be a bit different, there's an awful lot of similarities between Fords and Lincolns. And there's a reason for that, because if you were to take those outer shells off and look at the chassis, in large part, more so with the older ones than the new ones, but in large part, you would be really hard-pressed to tell the difference between these vehicles. Same goes with Honda and Acura. Same goes with Chevy and Cadillac or Buick. The same thing goes with Nissan and Infiniti. It's a rebranding of the same product. And in many cases, there's going to be what seems like a very unreasonable markup for what seems like not a whole lot of extra feature between the basic version of the product and the upscale market version of the product. So none of my original perceptions of FinalMouse have changed here. The thumb buttons are still garbage, and now we know why. The build quality of the mouse is still in large part really good, but they're using an OEM chassis from a cheaper product. Sensor implementation is still top-notch. Left and right clicks are still incredibly good with my particular product. If any of you have purchased this product and you're having problems with it, guys, get in touch with their customer service team. These guys are good. They care about their product and they want to see that you have the best possible version of it that you can get your hands on. Now, as far as them using an aftermarket chassis from another company, that aspect of it, I personally understand. I understand 110%. It's one of the compromises you have to make as a new company, as a startup of any kind. You're going to have to cut corners somewhere to bring your customers a product, or at least start bringing them a product that you believe in and that you know will only get better and better over time. Look at my channel right now. I'm recording this all on a Nikon Coolpix S5200 point-and-shoot camera. I'm sure you guys have noticed the grain-tastic video quality that I'm bringing to you right now. But I believe in my product. I believe in these videos that I'm making. I love making them. I love engaging in conversation with you guys. And this is what I have to bring right now. Eventually, I will be improving video quality. I will be improving production quality. I'll be getting better and better products in. Yes, I want to bring you a review of the Phoenix Aria headset. I want to bring you a review of their Autor keyboard. I want to bring you guys more full-featured product reviews from water cooling and graphics cards and all over the place. But I got to start with something. FinalMouse had to start with something. And they are very interested in community feedback from all of its users, because if they don't get that feedback, they're not going to know how to push forward with this product. And having talked with Jude from their engineering team and spoken with Chad from customer service, I have the utmost confidence that these guys genuinely care about this product and that they wouldn't be charging you what they're charging for it if there was a way around it. You know, in this case, I kind of feel like most of what you're paying for are your Omron switches for left and right click and that very unique sensor implementation. It takes a fair bit of effort to create customized firmwares for existing bits of hardware and get it to work stably and consistently every single time. And especially with a company that's just starting out, it's going to wind up costing them more to do something like this than the big guns like Logitech or Razer or even Rockhat. Not that they're a small company by any stretch of the imagination. Their peripherals are freaking awesome. But their resources are limited for the time being. This is what they have to work with. And frankly, that considered, this is a really strong first showing. The only thing that may have changed, maybe, is my perception of whether or not you should buy this product. My opinion still holds that if you can look past the thumb buttons and you don't rightly care about them, I still feel like this product is worth the asking price. However, consider more carefully the other options out there that are within the same price range. If any company is worth their weight in gold, they're going to be not only paying attention to their own performance metrics on how quickly the product is moving, but they're going to be considering what the competition is selling as well. And maybe obviously not getting a closer look at their metrics as they would their own, but they're going to be paying attention to that. And they're going to be studying those products. They're going to be looking at what their products are doing correctly versus what their own product is doing correctly. And they're going to be taking the feedback from the community that has FinalMouse and comparing it against what the communities are saying from these other manufacturers, and they're going to be making their own personal tweaks and revisions to this product to one-up the other guy. So, yeah, the takeaway here is, guys, don't be shocked about seeing that this is based on another product. This is rampant throughout many industries, and it doesn't change the fact, in this case, that FinalMouse is still a product worth considering. But hopefully you guys found this informative. Hopefully you found it entertaining. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you liked it or didn't like it. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this this video, and you know, how interested are you in seeing more content like this. Also, don't forget to share the video and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'm Mike the Manic Geek, and I'll see you guys next time.